Welcome to Friday's Student Spotlight. I am super excited. This is one that I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. We have Clementina on the call here today. Clementina and I feel like, man, we've been talking even before day one, that first day that you came into Rental Property Pro. We touched base, had a quick phone call just to build your confidence. And, just a few months later, here you are on the Student Spotlight call. So I'm super excited to hear about your journey and your story. But before we jump into all that, Clementina, share with us kind of a little bit of your background. What did you do? How did you get here? What got you interested in real estate? You just take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Coach John and everybody else. Yes, my name is Clementina. I'm Latin 100%. I worked, as you could tell, I worked casino business for 35 years,
Wow.
and it was not for me. I decided to focus on what I really wanted to do, which was real estate. My sister, my brother, my mother did it all their lives, and so I knew that it made sense. And I was just busy raising my girls and working full time. So after I left, I decided to put all my focus on what I really wanted to do for me, which was, invest in real estate.
I love that. And what got you excited about real estate? What was like the thing that drew you towards that?
I'm gonna tell you, this is I know that I worked very hard.
Yep.
I'm not a lazy person, but I know what was stopping me. At first, what really made me decide that I was gonna do it, it was one of your I forgot her name. One of your workers called me and she said,
Okay.
"Your my boss is gonna call you at 7 o'clock in the morning." And I said, "Okay, let me see." Well, 7 o'clock exact, you call. And I was, impressed, which I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. I asked you, do you mean that if I join, I don't mind paying, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think you ever work with somebody like me. I've
Yeah.
never had I never had to use a computer. Everything was done for me. I never had to learn something where, I was the worst one at it. I don't like being the worst at anything.
Yeah. Fair.
And that was very scary. But I asked you if I had a question, was somebody gonna help me or they were just gonna leave me deal with it or figure it out yourself?
Yeah.
And to my pleasant surprise, I know I'm still here, and so I don't think I'm going anywhere.
I love it. I love it. And what drew you towards like real estate investing itself? I mean, was there, have you always wanted to do that? Was there something that came up that like, got you really excited about real estate investing? What was that?
Um, I I was married 20 years ago, and
Okay.
I always wanted to have rentals. So
Okay.
my ex-husband and I bought rentals,
Okay.
and when I left my marriage, I left everything. And I
Oh,
was
wow. Okay.
really angry for a long time, but I
Yeah.
knew I could do it. And I knew that I didn't have enough knowledge to fight for anything, and so I was very angry, very concerned, very scared about making a mistake and investing all my money and losing again. So that
Yeah.
fear made me stop for a long time.
That's fair. Fear's something that stops a lot of people, right? The fear of the unknown. I often like to say is like, you know, nothing changes until, the fear of the unknown is less than the pain that you're in today, right? So what, what was the thing that got you over the fear to say, okay, like today is the day that I'm gonna stop being scared and I'm gonna start taking action and work on real estate investing. What was that for you?
I know that I'm a very dedicated person.
Yeah,
I
you
want
are.
I want something and I go after it, and I already passed looking dumb. I already passed
Yep.
that. So for me to see where I was, I didn't recognize myself. I knew I could do a lot better.
Yep.
And so all that already did all my crying, and it's time to get up and let's go.
Yeah. I love that. You just got to the point where you knew that you were worth more, right? You knew that there was more out there for you. You just had to kind of get out of your own way, essentially, and dive in, right?
My mind was stopping me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so true. That's such a powerful statement, right? Like your mind was stopping you. The world wasn't stopping you, it was just yourself, which is a big realization to have. I love that.
That was horrible.
Now,
Yes,
what's that?
that was horrible to understand and accept that I was the only one, doing
Yep.
that to myself.
Yeah, and that's a huge realization, right, guys? And anyone listening to this is, no one stopping you besides yourself, right? And I said, I sent out an email I think yesterday, and I think it's pretty, reminiscent to this conversation that Clementina are having. You know, it's not the fact that you can't raise money for real estate. It's the fact that you're scared to, right? It's not the fact that you can't go find a rental property to buy. It's the fact that you're scared to, right? It's the fear that is stopping you from going out and achieving that. And I think one day, Clementina, you just woke up and you're like, I'm done. I'm done being scared, right? I'm going to get the help that I need so I feel secure, and I'm just going to be done being scared and taking action, which is great. Share us a little bit about your journey, right? I know you had a big fear coming in, with not being like really comfortable with the computer and all those things, and feeling like maybe you didn't have a huge amount of knowledge. But tell us about your journey. How did you kind of take it on? Where did you start? What was your focus? Like, just take us from the top.
Well, I had to start from the beginning, and I had to pass comparing myself to everybody else.
Yeah, huge.
I I do what I can, and I'm very aware of I'm only gonna get out what I put in.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So if I started from learning terms, from I understood how behind I was, and I said, you know what? I cannot wait until I learn everything, until I'm comfortable. I can't, because it's gonna take me a whole year.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
because of that, I went with Danica, and she helped me through every number. She explained to me things clearly, not once, but twice or three times. I don't remember.
I love
And
that.
sure. And so I would say I changed my mind from one way to the other because I didn't know anything. So I said, Danica, can we do it this way? Can we do it that way? So she really helped me throughout the whole process. And once I was there, I said, well, Danica, I'm already here. I'm already scared. So might as well try to buy two properties.
I love that. You're like, we're already doing one. We might as well do two. We're
So
this far in, right?
I said, do you mind asking Taylor if he can give me a discount on a second property? And I can't believe I did that because I don't ask, I was raised like that. I don't ask for help. What? I'm gonna
I love
beg
that.
you. I'm gonna beg you. And wait a minute, I have to change my way of thinking. I'm not begging anything.
No, not at all.
And to my surprise, he said yes. And now the problem was, now the problem really started because, okay, so you have to download this, forward this, you know, and I said, oh, I'm in trouble now. But I was already there, and I'm not gonna quit. I don't quit. And
Yeah.
so I have two grown daughters. They're 25 and 26 now. They live with me,
Hmm. Awesome.
and I'm very sneaky. I if I need if I need help with the computer, I said, okay, so I'm gonna cook this and that and that and that today. And so
Yep.
they're very sneaky too. They go, no, how about you do it this and that and that, and because I know that you need to help with the computer and this and that and that. So it's a give and take. So I have no choice. But now it's funny, but it's been very help. They're very asking for help. It was the worst for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to ask for help, right? But you've worked out a good give and take with your daughters, right? You help them, they help you, and I think, it sounds like you just kind of, you made this decision that, hey, I'm going to get out of my own way. I'm going to stop being scared. I'm going to ask for help and, take it when someone's willing to give it, whether it's from your daughters or from Danica, one of my team members, which has been great. And look how far it's taken you. Have you, those two properties, have you closed on them yet? I don't think you have. You're close to, right?
We're closing on Monday.
Oh, nice. So literally right around the corner. That's
Yes,
great.
yes.
So first two properties in the bag. How long have you been in the program? It's probably been about what, 90 days?
Yes,
4 months?
90 days
90 days.
exactly. Yes.
Perfect. That's beautiful. And
Yes.
then Clementina, what's the goal from here? Like, I mean, obviously, you did two done for you deals, and now we're, working on continuing to grow that. I know you've been looking at properties, making offers, doing deal analysis. What's next? What's the goal? Where are we going from here?
Because I have an idea now. I would like to shoot for three deals by the end of the year.
Nice.
Um,
Okay.
I was looking into Tennessee because of a new Robert Fall um name that they threw out there, and so I would like to try be a Berkey,
Burr property? Yeah. Yep.
but because I'm trying to force myself to, and I'm not trying, I'm forcing myself to ask for help. I remarried 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked my husband for help, and he says, "Yeah, we can buy a property in, but if you want to buy one, you have to buy it in Vegas." And so I said, "Okay,
Vegas it is, I guess.
Vegas it is, I guess." And so I'm gonna go. I still want to do my own in Tennessee,
Yeah.
and so I'm going. I don't know which way to go first. Whatever deal comes first, but I'm asking, asking. I can't believe I asked, and so you know, I'm very, very proud of myself, my progress. It's small steps every single day. I don't take
Yep.
one day off without doing something.
I love that. That's huge. And like how often, like how many hours a week you think you kind of spend on this journey?
At least 2 a day, 2 or 3 days. I left my job almost 4 months ago.
Oh wow. Yeah. I think I remember that whenever we first talked, you said you had
Yes.
left your job. So you're spending like maybe 2, 3 hours a day just kind of really digging into this.
Yes. Doing
That's
something that has to do with real estate. And
I
I
love
take it
that.
seriously.
Yeah. Yep. What's your main focus right now, right? You've gotten these first two properties, which took a lot of work, right? You had to get, your retirement account funds moved around, all these different things. What's your focus now? Are you just analyzing a lot of properties? Are you making offers? A little bit of both? Where's your focus at the moment?
I'm doing both. I'm analyzing. I'm really getting comfortable with the deal analyzer. It took me a long time. It was
Yeah.
very frustrating because I want to know what number is what. And so, I need to
Yep.
relax a little bit on that and trust you all.
Yep.
And so I'm doing both. And that's this is what I want to do. And I'm working
Oh,
with NB Capital. Finally, I decided that
yeah.
I can't do it myself. And it was the computer that was holding me.
Yeah.
And yesterday I did it by myself, and I'm like, oh my God, it's little steps and
It's
progress.
huge.
It's very powerful for yourself. And so
Yeah.
I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing without
Yep.
comparing myself to anybody else. I know I'm putting the work, and it's a matter of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hard work, trumps raw talent any day of the week, right? And, there are so many things in life that we can affect just by putting in the time, the effort, and the hard work, which you're finding out, right? The only thing that was kind of in your way was that fear factor, if you will. And MB Capital, for those of you who are on the call and aren't listening, is our business capital partner. So you start working with them, they're going to help you get some business lines of credit and credit cards and stuff set up, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So now you've gone through this whole process. You've had success. You've put in the hard work. You're continuing to put in the hard work. There are a lot of people in your situation, right? With that fear, right? Like what's like one or two pieces of advice that you would give to those people that are, still maybe a little scared or on the fence about jumping into real estate investing? Like what's the thing that you needed to hear 5 years ago to kind of kick you into gear? What's that look like?
Understanding that you're the only one who's getting on your own way.
Yeah.
We're not, at least me, I'm not a dummy. I understand when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I expect, like by the grace of God, results.
Yep.
That's not how it works. And so if
Yep.
I'm honest by myself, I put the work and it's not working, okay, it's a matter of time. But if I'm not doing anything and expecting results, you know, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, exactly. And do you think maybe one of the big things for you, you've kind of talked about it a couple times during this call, was like just opening yourself up to asking for help, right? Like, hey, I might not know everything and this fear might be here, but if I ask for help, I can get over that. Like, is that kind of a big, has that been a big thing for you?
For me, being grateful of everybody's time. Everybody has
Oh,
their
well.
own business. Everybody has
Yep.
their own families and kids and whatnot, and they still make time to focus on you. 30 minutes, 15 minutes,
Yep.
whatever time it is. But they do it sincerely, and we need to appreciate that.
No,
We gotta
thank
take
you.
advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cliche to sound because you're on the call, but you're the exact reason why we do it, right? Someone that comes into the rental property pro family and just has a burning desire to have success, right? And if we can see that and we know that you're going to do whatever it takes to have success, we're going to get 100% behind you in order to support you in that, right? Because that's the greatest return on our investment is to see you go out there and buy properties and create that cash flow and that portfolio that you hope for and ultimately legacy for your daughters at this point in time, which is a huge factor for you. So we got the goal for the year is to add another property. We're going to figure out if it's in Vegas or if it's in Tennessee. We're still up in the air
Cool.
about that. And are you, I know one thing that I always share with newer students is, in order to kind of hit your goals, one of the biggest things you need to do is have those one-on-one coaching calls. And we were just talking about that. Are you doing at least one-on-one coaching call a week? Like what's in addition to those 2 or 3 hours you're spending a day? Like what else are you doing to have success? Are you doing your coaching calls? You getting on the group coaching calls? What's that look like?
I'm learning as much as I can from other students. They're very
Hmm.
helpful.
Yeah.
I don't miss coaching call, sometimes two a week if it's available.
Yep.
And anybody that can help me, I know everybody knows a lot more than me, but I know that I'm listening and I know that I'm taking notes like a grandma. I have notes everywhere.
You're going to be a coach before you know it. I have that feeling in the near future. You've been absorbing information and you're always on the group coaching calls. I know I don't do a group coaching call that you're not on. So I do love that. You're always trying to do the best you can to make time to learn, which is great.
It's a matter of time. I'm gonna get something out. It's for my daughters, but it's also I don't know how it's gonna come out, but I mean it in a my why is my daughters obviously, but it's
Hmm.
me too. I know I
Absolutely.
deserve it too. I'm as important as everybody else, and so that's for me too.
Yeah. I mean, this is creating your retirements and, when the time's right, your kids can benefit from this. But in the meantime, this is all about you, right? Your long-term why is them, but for right now, we're creating a lifelong dream that you've been seeking out for way too long, and finally starting to actualize it, which is amazing. So we got another property on the board for the rest of the year. What are you doing, if anything, which I hope you're doing something. What are you doing to celebrate this success? I mean, you've gotten your first two properties, which I know you were nervous about getting those done. Are you guys doing anything to celebrate?
Yes, actually, I'm making a lot of changes, even financially. And this was a struggle, but every relationship is a give and take.
Yeah,
Um, my husband bought a beautiful RV, and I love traveling from old town San Diego all the way up to San Francisco and stop
nice.
anywhere I want. And for me, it was I did not want to spend that money on an RV because to me now I'm thinking that's too done for you deals.
I know it's two rental properties.
And
That's
oh
how
my
you
God,
start thinking over time. Every
I
time you
was
start to spend money, it's rental property related, right?
I love big trucks, and that's another change I had to make. I
Okay.
love, I'm from Rosarito Beach. I love big trucks, big tires, black
Big
on black. And
lifted trucks. Yeah.
oh, that's my thing. But I had to make changes, or whether you want to be ready for another deal, or you want to do that. So that there are changes that you need to make and sacrifices that you need to make in order for you to achieve your goal.
Yeah, I love that. What's the saying? There's a quote out there. It's you know, be willing to make sacrifices today so you can have what no one else will have in the future, right? And that's what you're doing right now. Now, are you guys to celebrate um these two properties? Are you guys going on a road trip in the RV? What are you guys going to do?
Yes, for now we're just gonna do. We've done it before for a month, and this time it's gonna be just 1 week because I still have that. I don't feel satisfied completely because I didn't do the deal myself.
Yeah. Yeah, Danica helped you and you had a team there to back you up and find the property. So you're looking to do something from start to finish,
I
right?
want to do it myself, and so
Yeah.
then I'm gonna celebrate.
I love that. I love
Yes,
that.
I have
Good.
to thank you all for your help and your time and your questions and your repeating and my same questions over and over until I click. I appreciate that very, very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point of a coaching and mentorship program is to provide you with the security. Now, as you said, you're never going to know anything or never know everything.
Never.
For me personally, I've been doing this for 18 years and I still get surprised on a daily basis, right? So for me, I know that I'm always going to come up against a challenge, right? It's just being able to overcome that challenge. And with a newer investor like yourself, you got to have someone in your corner answering questions or, the unknown is going to be just overwhelming. And you got to have the opportunity to get your questions answered. So that's what we're here for. I love that you are never embarrassed to ask questions, that you're willing to ask for help finally. And we are more than happy to help and support you and love to see all the success you've been having. With that being said, kind of give us some parting words, right? To anyone who's, just trying to get into real estate or thinking about joining Rental Property Pro, but maybe not, in a place where they feel super comfortable or confident or just unsure. Like, what words of advice would you give them?
Get in there. Get in there, and
Get in there.
get in there. Once you're in the water, you're gonna start swimming because you're gonna start swimming. Uh,
Yep.
it's never. Believe me, there's nobody worse than me. I'm telling you.
You don't give yourself enough credit, Clementina. I'll tell you that much.
But I have to tell you that being on the calls is very, very important. The Monday call, it's
Yeah.
very, very important. We don't, I was forced myself, I saw myself writing things down, and that's one of the reasons why I just did it.
Yep.
I wrote down what good side I have, or what do I have to work with. I have an
Yep.
excellent credit, I have time, I have the knowledge, I have the patience. What do I need?
Yeah. Exactly.
I had no excuse. And so, you know, get on the calls. You have to get on the calls, and you have to get on especially the one-on-one calls. It's a lot more private and a lot more, focus on yourself. And so it really works. It works.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I mean, we can create so many excuses for ourselves on a day-to-day basis of reasons why we can't. And until we just say, hey, you know what? There's no more excuses. I'm going to get the support that I need and take action. That's when the magic happens. And you have done absolutely nothing but work your butt off. And
Yeah.
that is proving to pay dividends. And I love that. You're the student that me and Tim and Rob and Ricardo and everyone, in the team and Jen, wishes they had. And we're very thankful that you put your trust and faith in us to help and support you. We're so happy to see that you're having all this success, and I can't wait till you buy 10 more properties. And
I will.
we're gonna be right here with you doing that, for the next year. And we're excited to do it. But
Perfect.
it,
I appreciate you
Clement-
all the time very, very much.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. And Clementina, it's been an absolute pleasure. This has been my favorite student spotlight call that I've done. I'm so happy to, share this journey with you, and I can't wait to see what the next, year is going to bring for us. So let's have some fun. Let's make some money. Let's buy some rental properties, and you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much for jumping
Thank
on. I
you so
appreciate
much,
it.
everybody. Thank you, all
You're
coaches.
welcome, Gina. Bye.